Hi, my name is Braxton. Welcome to Texas Sawdust and welcome to my shop. Let me take you on a tour. I've been woodworking now for about 4 years, and I think my first real woodworking project would be the bunk beds that I built for my kids. Since then, I've done a number of different projects, including bathroom vanity, floating entertainment center, desks around the house. But I think my biggest project that I've done would be this. I built this. Everything you see here, I built. About a year and a half ago, my wife and I had the opportunity to get some land, and our goal was to build our own house. And we wanted to do everything. We started out by clearing the land. I borrowed some equipment from a friend to do the dirt work. I paid somebody to help me do the concrete because that definitely takes some skill. After that, we framed everything, did the plumbing, the electrical. I paid somebody to do the drywall because that is definitely an art. I am terrible at it, and it would have taken me absolutely forever. We can go ahead and start looking at the shop right here on this side. I've got a 2 horsepower helical head jointer. It's a 8 inch. I wanted a 12 inch when I was buying a jointer. Just the price difference between an 8 inch and a 12 inch was a lot, and I couldn't afford it at the time. So maybe in the plans for a future upgrade. We'll see. Above that, I've got some lumber storage. This was kind of a dead area with the jointer right here, and I figured why not make it a usable area. So I've got some hickory up here. This is some 8 quarter and some 4 quarter. I've got some plans for this, so stay tuned for a future project there. Right here, I've got my Oliver 5 horsepower 20 inch helical head planer. And this thing is a beast. It does not bat an eye at whatever I put through it. I absolutely love it. Back here in this corner, I've got my 2 horsepower jet dust collection. I would like to run dust collection up and through the ceiling to all the different tools in my shop. I just haven't gotten to that yet. Not sure if I'm going to do PVC or metal piping. I'll probably go with PVC because it's a little bit cheaper, um, or I guess significantly cheaper. At the back in the center of my shop, I've got my miter station. It's 16 feet long, and I needed something to get my tools off the floor in my shop. Up until I just built this, or I'm in the process of building it, all my tools were on the floor. And every time I needed something, I had to walk over, reach down, pick it up off the floor, go back over, do what I was doing. And when I needed to put it away, it went right back on the floor. And I just got really tired of working from the floor. So I figured I could build this, put some cabinet drawers in it. And right now, I wasn't sure what cabinet hardware I want to use. So I just put them on some scrap pieces of plywood. The slides work great, and I 3D printed some drawer handles. And they actually work pretty well. I don't think it's a permanent solution, but we'll find out. On this wall, I've got more lumber storage. I'm not sure what I'm going to do below it. I wanted to keep it open, so I put the lumber storage up high. I'm using the Bora wood racks. I actually really like them. 2 of them come in a pack, and they can hold 110 pounds each. I doubled that up, so each shelf should theoretically be able to hold 220 pounds. And right now, I'm holding about 200 board feet of hickory up there with no issue. Over here, I have plans to put in a shop sink. I've got it plumbed for hot and cold water. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. That's going to be kind of the theme of this shop is everything is a work in progress. And that's the theme of my house, which is why I have this shop. Here in the center, I've got my Sawstop professional cabinet saw. I opted for the 3 horsepower version, and I decided to go with Sawstop because every little bit of safety can't hurt, right? I decided to put the router table extension on this side of it instead of the standard extension table, and I really enjoy having that here. It keeps the router table out, things don't collect on it, it doesn't collect clutter, and if I need to move the fence over, this just picks up and I put it under the table. I would really like to build some sort of cabinet under here that can hold blades and router bits, but that's going to have to be a future project. In front of my table saw, I've got my outfeed table. It's not the fanciest of tables, but it works really well. I think my biggest complaints are is that it's not very flat, and I wish it was larger. I think in the future I would like to build one that is about as wide as the table saw is and about 8 feet long with some cabinet storage in it. Over here under the stairs, I've got some tool storage. I 3D printed a bunch of brackets to hold all my Milwaukee hand tools. It's fantastic to be able to just use it and then put it here, hang it up. It gets put away. It's really nice to have them always put away, but always within easy reach and access. On this side of things, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. Currently, I've just got my sander sitting here, but I think it would be really cool to do some cabinets or something. Again, I'm not sure what this area could be, but if you guys have any ideas, please leave them down in the comments below. Currently, the stairs are being used to house all my clamps. I don't have a clamp rack yet, but it's definitely in my future plans to build one. I would also like to finish the drywall, but like I mentioned earlier, I'm not very good at it, so I tend to avoid it. This corner of the shop I've got set up for plywood storage. I'd like to build something that maybe can hold full sheets of plywood and hold partial sheets going this way. That way I can get quick and easy access to different sized partial sheets while at the same time having somewhere to put all the full sheets. This area of the shop I'd like to use as an assembly area. I think having an assembling table right here that I could use to assemble different projects that wouldn't take up space on my outfeed table or other areas in the shop. So if I needed to go cut some more parts or work on a different aspect of that project while things were still being assembled, it would be out of the way, but not on the floor or something. A table with that I could walk all the way around with storage all the way around so I can have different assembling tools in there is kind of what I'm imagining. If you have any ideas or know of something that somebody's done like that, please feel free to shoot me a comment. And currently over in this corner, I've got a 3D printer. I cannot recommend highly enough getting a 3D printer and adding that to your arsenal of tools. When I first learned about 3D printers and I got one, I didn't quite grasp the concept of it. People print little trinkets and figurines and stuff. I did that a few times for the kids and it sat for a long time. But lately I've realized how valuable it is to be able to have something like that that you can print different things and add different things in the shop, such as the drawer handles that I made, the tool holders that I have, battery holders. I printed a few hooks, random things around the house that it works really well. It's fast. You hit go on it, walk away, and you can go work on another project while it's doing its thing. It's an awesome tool. And the best part is you don't have to know how to 3D model to use these. I do know how to 3D model, and it helps if you want to customize things. But if you just want to get into it and start before knowing how to 3D model, there's websites out there such as Thingiverse and Prusa has one. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I'll link it down in the description. But there are a bunch of websites and resources out there to help you get started in that. So I recommend picking one up. Over here, I've got my drill press. And the last big tool in my shop is my Laguna BX14 bandsaw. I picked this up for about 1,200 bucks, so there's some really good deals to be had out there if you search, but they are hard to find. So take your time if you're looking for a tool and it's a little bit out of your budget, because you can find some really good deals on some tools that cost quite a bit of money. Two more things I wanted to mention are lighting and air movement. If your shop is hot and stuffy, you're not going to want to get out and work in it. And if you can't see, your work's going to suffer. So when I was setting up my shop, I made sure to put 5 ceiling fans above my main work area, and I added one more over where I want to do an assembly area. The lighting, I added 16 different lights in here, and I'm even thinking about adding a few more. And let me tell you, both of those things absolutely pay off. Guys, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate you sticking around to the end of the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and hit that bell notification icon so you'll know about any future videos that drop. I've got a lot planned and I can't wait to share it with you. And remember, get out to the shop. I need to move this over and I can just take the fence right out and put it under. Oh man, that did not go well. I've got my miter station. Wow. I needed something to get my tools off the